Hi, John Kenny from RTE here. Hi, Andrew. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
How you doing?
Good.
Commiserations today. Obviously, they got you let them off the hook. Really, a very good start. But 171, unfortunately, just was beyond you. But did you think at the halfway point that you could do it?
Yeah, 100%. We thought it was probably around par, maybe just a bit more. It was a pretty good wicket. It got better as their innings got on, I thought. There was two or three overs up
I
top
can't
where...
hear Andrew.
Can you hear me now? This one? Hello?
I'm hearing him. Okay.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, what was I saying now? Yeah, no, it was... We thought it was in and around par, but obviously when you get them out for three, it was disappointing that they got away from us a bit, but they're good players, and that's kind of what you expect when you come up against good teams, and we maybe could have bowled a bit better to the new men up top, but you got to give them credit. But certainly at the halfway stage, we knew if we batted well, we'd be thereabouts, but couldn't really get going with the bat, and it's disappointing, but it makes Friday very simple.
Yeah. What about some of the field places today? And the Hasaranga certainly punished you on the offside. There's quite a large gap between the two fielders out there, and he certainly pumped Simi Singh down to that area. Do you think you could have maybe blocked that area as the game was going on, especially when Singh was bowling?
Potentially, yeah. It was in the power play, so you can only have two fielders outside the ring, and Simi wanted the ball to long on and cow corner, and I backed him. Unfortunately, he played really well, but it's always difficult in the power play to bowl with only two men out, but yeah, that's the way it is.
Sure. It was. I know today's game is behind you now, and you've obviously got the important win against the Dutch. Is it always in the back of your mind that Friday would have been the game?
We certainly wanted to come in and win today and potentially put Friday not in the back of our minds, but you want to win all the games. But we came up against a really good Sri Lanka team today, and certainly our attention is turning fully on Friday, and that which becomes pretty much a straight knockout.
Yeah. From your own point of view, at least you've got a few runs. You haven't really been in form in the last couple of innings, but at least you got a 41 today. That must have pleased you anyway, even though it was in a losing cause.
Yeah, it was nice to spend time in the middle. It was obviously difficult up front. I would have liked to have gone at a probably better rate, but with the small boundary on one side, I always felt that we were in the game. But like I said, we couldn't really just get anything going with the bat on a pretty good wicket. But that's a good Sri Lankan bowling attack. They've got two good spinners and some good pace up front. So yeah, that's the way it goes, and hopefully I can continue on Friday and get a few runs.
And finally, what about the heat out there? It seems pretty stifling. Even the Sri Lankan players who might be a bit more used to it were finding difficulty with the heat.
Yeah, it's hot, but it's been hot since day one, and we're fully aware of that, and we've just got to get on with it and adapt as quick as possible. It was our first night game since we've arrived. We didn't get a night game in the warm-up games, but it certainly was muggy, and you could tell that from the TV, I'm sure. But yeah, it's not going to get any cooler, I don't think.
Sure. Well, good luck on Friday.
Thanks, John.
As always, use a raise hand feature if you want a question. Ian Callender.
That's okay. Just the decision to pick Craig Young today, he kind of backed you up there, did he? Is that safe to say he was very economical today?
Yeah, he bowled well, but he's been bowling well all kind of for a while now. The other day we just felt that a leg spinner could have given us another option. Today's game under lights obviously skids on a bit more. We thought that we could bring in the extra seamer. Obviously, historically, Sri Lankan teams play spin pretty well, so that kind of shows the depth of our seam attack. That Craig came in and took to it straight away and was really impressive, and he can certainly take a lot of confidence from that.
And then very quickly, you mentioned there like that's quite a good Sri Lankan attack, probably a lot better than a lot of people have given them credit for coming into the tournament. And that kind of pace trio that they had that caused a few problems, particularly with the short ball. How is that something you prepare for when maybe it's not something you play against as regularly in domestic cricket?
Yeah, we don't prepare for it. We don't get wickets like this. We don't get pace like that too often back home. Certainly at club grounds around the country, unfortunately can't really get wickets like that. But look, the more we go up the levels, and if we go well on Friday next week, it's only going to get quicker, and we've got to adapt quickly. Again, like I said, they were quite skiddy, the bowlers, so they bowled good short balls and at you. But that's what you expect at international cricket, and we've got to find ways to cope with that and pretty quickly.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Ian Callender.
I presume that's Craig asking me. I can barely hear you, Andrew, so I'm afraid missed your first answer completely. Just maybe sum up again for me, please. I might be able to pick you up. Sri Lankan bowling just too good for us to chase that total down?
Yeah, basically what I've said already. They batted pretty well when we got a few wickets early. We had our tails up, but they kind of took the game away from us in the middle. I thought we came back pretty well as well, and got them to a score that we felt we could get, and we felt it was maybe a par, maybe just above par, but certainly our batting just didn't really get any momentum. You know, I scored 40 odd, and it took me quite a few balls. I still found it tricky enough, but yeah, they're a good team, and they've deserved to go through, but certainly will be eyeing up the second spot on Friday.
And you were impressed, obviously, by the Namibia performance this morning?
Yeah, we only really caught the back end of it when we arrived to the ground for this game. But yeah, look, they played pretty well. We know they're threats, and we know they're a good team. They ran us pretty close in the qualifiers a couple of years ago, and it's going to be a really good game. Two good teams gunning for a huge prize at the end of it. So we'll have a rest day tomorrow and come out to Sharjah on Friday and look forward to the challenge.
Thank you.
Fidel Fernando.
Hi, Andy. I just wondered if you could elaborate on. You mentioned that you're looking to adapt to the pace of the bowling, especially looking forward into the tournament. Hopefully, if you get through to the next round, you're going to have plenty more of that. What can you do in kind of a short space of time if you haven't faced too much of that bowling before to adapt to that kind of bowling?
Yeah, look, there's obviously not a lot we can do. We're perfectly capable of playing quick bowling. I'm not saying we're not. We played some of the quickest bowlers in the summer back home against South Africa, and we did pretty well. So it's slightly different out here. It's sort of skiddier to what we'd be used to, but particularly under the lights, it obviously skids on. But look, I love that challenge, and I think a lot of our batters do, getting out there and facing the battle and having balls zinging past your head. That's what you want to do. That's the battle you want to be in. So look, we're not going to be able to change that over the course of hopefully a week if we do qualify, but we've just got to back our skills and take it head on and take the challenge on and not shy away from it. And that's obviously a mental thing rather than a kind of technical thing that you can pick up. But you know, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We've got a huge game on Friday, and we've got to prepare as best we can for that.
A question from the room here.
Skipper, Graham Ford has spent a lot of time in Colombo. Was he able to give a lot of insight on the opposition?
No info. No, he obviously knows a lot of their guys pretty well, and he knows how they go about their business. We spent a lot of time looking at footage of them and chatting to the coaches about them, and we knew their threats, and we weren't really able to deal with them as well as we would have liked, but certainly having Fordy's insight to how they go about things helped in our prep. But like I said, we didn't really put in a performance to that we can be that proud of, but luckily we've got another shot on Friday to amend this result.
And last question, Vidu.
Hi Andy, I'm Krikvidu from Sri Lanka.
Hi.
I'm pretty sure you had very good plans for our Sri Lankan top order batters. Did you consider Wanindu Hasaranga as a batter? You made some plans for him?
Yeah, he obviously took us a bit by surprise by coming in and look, I thought he played really well. We obviously set fields that we backed over a couple of years, and he kind of countered that and maybe caught us on the hop a bit. But that's what happens when you play against world-class cricketers. They can do that to you, do that to you. And we maybe just weren't on the money from that sort of third over in the power play, fourth over in the power play. But that happens, and yeah, I think we're still doing the right things and going through the right processes. So one more big performance on Friday, and hopefully we can have a good end to the week.
Okay, thanks, Andy.
Thanks.